Good afternoon, everybody. This is Dr. Kemi Olunlayo. It is the 7th of June, 2024, and Friday afternoon. Many of you just saw me on Daddy Free's show just now. I'm very sorry, and I apologize for crying and breaking down on the show, particularly at the end of the show. It was very emotional for me. You see, everybody has something they're expertise in, and I studied pharmacy. And then I studied public relations and journalism. While studying journalism, I decided that I love music news and I love investigative journalism, world news and health news. In investigative journalism, there's a lot of forensic work done. And this is why we as investigative journalists, we work alongside police in America. In Nigeria, investigative journalists are the enemy of the police. They would invite us to help them with their investigation. As it says in their letters, we're not supposed to help you. We cannot, disclose the source. So Nigerians are bent on always knowing the source, always wanting to know the source. And we cannot give you the source because in journalism, you protect the source. There's something called source protection. You can Google it. I totally disagree with Daddy Freeze 100%. Ife Dayo is my junior brother, and I've known him since UI days when he was a student. I watched Freeze grew up from a student at UI, from a student at ISI, International School, and to an OAP at Cool FM, and to doing his own business now, the Daddy Freeze live shows and other media ventures. But when we argue, argument is argument, okay? Freeze is not convinced by what I said to him. This pharmacist and this clinical pharmacist, this is the reason in 1988 why they changed the entire pharmacy curriculum in North America and wanted everybody to go through the 6-year program instead of 4 or 5 years. And the 6-year program will give you the PharmD. Some people that left before the PharmD, they went and did an extra 2 years because of the clinical knowledge. The clinical knowledge is very, very important. In clinical pharmacy, we do rounds with the doctors in the morning to see patients. We're just like doctors. We do what they do, but we are in the drug part of it, the medication part of it. As a pharmacist, we learn many things in school that nurses don't learn. That nurse that came at the end of Freeze's show was talking nonsense. Okay, nurses also have their own classifications. They're different kind of nurses in America, in UK. LPN, GPN, RN. RN is the top one, auxiliary, everything. But a nurse studies pharmacology in school, but nurses don't study pharmaceutics, okay? Pharmaceutics, the study of actual drugs. Before you study what they're gonna do, you need to know what they are. Pharmacotherapeutics, how exactly that drug is working in the system, how it's colliding with the organs, how it's colliding with other drugs, drug-drug interaction, how it's colliding with food, drug-food interaction. There are many drugs you can't take with certain foods. There are many drugs you can't take with certain drugs. Pharmacotherapeutics, pharmaceutics. We have pharmacognosy, the study of drugs from their herbal roots. Okay, because one of the things that Mohbad was drinking that night was bitters. Okay, that was the sponsor of the show, the General Bitters, owned by Cubana chief priest, who was not even asked or condoled with the family. Everybody's been silent in the music industry. You see, I'm an asset to this case and an asset to that show. So if Freeze is not concerned, I heard him say something about forensic pharmacology. There's no such thing as a forensic pharmacologist. Freeze. What you need on that show is a pathologist and a toxicologist. But it's hard to get guests to come live on these kind of shows because, first of all, they can't be representing the way they work. Second of all, this is Nigeria. Nobody wants to show their face, so if Freeze is going to get somebody else, he needs to get those ones that are abroad. Because nobody wants invitations, nobody wants all this stuff. Ife Dayo, if you need me, contact me like you said, but I've said my own. The case has a criminal component that has nothing to do with the drugs. Nothing. There's something on that invitation that really says it all. That autopsy and that toxicology text were contradictory. They're talking about a body that was not embalmed. If a body is not embalmed, how are you even going to find acetaminophen and diphenhydramine showing up? Not to talk of a body that was embalmed. An embalming liquid contains formalin, and formalin disintegrates the liver, the kidneys, everything turns to water when we die. I'm very intelligent. This case hasn't ended yet. I just cried because I hate injustice. I hate injustice when I see injustice. Mohbad was murdered. Nobody's going to convince me. And he had to do with something which is best known to him, but he can't talk. Something that relates to that child and the DNA test. Because if I didn't hear that part, I will not go online the next day he died on the 13th and write that nobody must donate for that woman. She must go and do a DNA test for that child. Because I had concrete conversations that had happened in that car before the fight. It was about the paternity and a Canadian visa. That's all I have to say. Thank you for watching. I will do everything in writing, and then I'll close the case when I'm ready. Thanks.